Happy day, beautiful people. Happy Friday. We have made it another week. It's Jan. Let's talk today. So, I woke up today and I, of course, started the day in gratitude. And I made a tweet and I was just like, I just want to start by saying thank you, Lord, right? Like, He's continued to carry us. He's continued to sustain us. He, got us through another week. He's the Alpha and the Omega, and he's still on the throne. So I had to start the day with that because also like the verse of the day and the Bible app was just talking about who can you talk to God about? Like somebody might need that. You were introduced to him, so who can you introduce to him as well? So I try to make a commitment and an active duty to talk about it on social media whenever I'm given the opportunity. So I went on ahead and made that post. But I had also noticed a post that I made yesterday. I had did a retweet, right? And it was like, he who finds a wife, um, ladies. So, you don't have to go looking for it or something. And I had retweeted it and I was just like, you have to submit this to the Lord. You have to submit this desire to the Lord. I said, have faith and, believe that it'll happen. And if it's his will, he will bring it to pass, essentially is what I said. And I realized they had picked up a lot of likes. So I was like, you know what, maybe this is something I need to speak on because I'm also in the process of writing my next book, which is Navigating Singleness. And it's about my journey of being single for the past 6 years. And that's one of the main things that I had to do in my single season was surrender my desire and my will for marriage to God. I remember when I first started this journey of singleness, it was not intentional. I've done a podcast about it before and I've talked about it before, but I talked about how the first 3 years were unintentional, but the last 3 years, like I literally spent those with God because I was like tired of doing things my way and I realized my way wasn't working. So I started to submit it to God. But along that journey, I, was like, when am I going to be in a relationship again? Like, I just was trying to figure that piece out. I was still just like, what's next? Like, what's going on? Like, I can remember even crying sometimes, like, feeling defeated. And it wasn't until I decided, like, you know what? I'm going to give this to God. Like, with everything or anything that you're worrying about or trying to control that, especially is not within your control, you have to submit it to God. Marriage being one of those, right? Going back to that verse, the verse does say, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. It does not say she who finds a wife. It does not say that. It says he who finds, which means that he's the seeker. He's finding, he's looking for a wife. The man is looking for a wife. And all you have to do is be in position to be found. And so with the single season, I talk about how there's purpose in the single season. And we have an obligation as women to, as Tony Gaskin calls it, work on our 3 Bs. He said is your brand, your business, and your body. So I always loved that because it was like, there's things you could be working on in your single season. And with all of that, serving the Lord at the very forefront. There's a verse from Apostle Paul where he was talking about how he's like, I wish that all of you can be like me and remain unmarried. But if you have that desire, you are to get married, right? But he was just talking about as an unmarried person, what your duty and your obligation is to serve the Lord. So that's what, as a single person, you should be doing when it comes to, or, speaking from a woman's perspective, because I'm a woman who's been single. But we just have an obligation to surrender that desire and that will and that, whatever it is to God. Like, so marriage, we're talking about marriage right now. and continue to work on yourself. Continue to work on, your physical, your mental, your emotional, your spiritual. Build that relationship with God. Work out, you know, be in the gym. Work on your brand, whatever your brand is, like branding yourself, as someone who is preparing for marriage or whatever the case may be. And simply put, he will find you, if that's what God's will is for your life. So heavy on God's will and heavy on trusting the plan that he has for your life, right? It says, for I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and give you hope in the future. But also we have to, when it says that, trust whatever that plan is. So that's all I wanted to speak on. Just wanted to further elaborate on that post that I made. I'm excited to be writing my next book, and I've been working on the outline. So excited to see how that continues to come out. And yeah, that's it, y'all. That's all that I have for today. It's a great day. It's a beautiful Friday, and I'm looking forward to not having anything to do this weekend. So I'm very, very ecstatic about that. But anyways, I hope that today and this weekend is absolutely amazing to y'all. Of course, I'm gonna see y'all on a video tomorrow. So yeah, that's that. But in the meantime, I'll see y'all on the next video. Bye bye.